Well, happy Tuesday morning, I believe it is, everyone, and welcome to the morning show on the brand new Main Street TV. We're so happy to have you here this morning, as we are happy to have some guests here in the house as well with us. So, of course, Jennifer here, and we are doing something a little bit different today. Our good friend Pete Wilson isn't with us today, as he is super duper busy downstairs getting those newspapers and things ready and actually doing his real job instead of out here partying with us every morning. So what we're going to do is the morning news update by Jennifer, which is just a few little announcements this morning, and then we will get to our special guest, and maybe guest if we can get Marla on the TV. No, okay, just guest then. From Holzer. We're going to talk about something really, really cool they're doing this weekend, and you need to take advantage of it. Just listen to what I'm saying. All right, as far as your morning news update goes, let's talk baseball for a minute. And did want to go over your Monday, May 10th baseball scores, and that was our Jackson boys still rolling on, defeating Gallia Academy 7-0 yesterday. Wellston over Oak Hill 10-3 yesterday, and a tie. Benton County 11 and Nelsonville York 11. I didn't know they could tie. Is that a thing? Okay, James doesn't know either. Do you girls know? Evidently they can. Okay. We just know health stuff, right? All right. And in your softball, in the Division II sectional semifinal, was McLean 6 over Benton County 1. And then Saturday, May 8th, that was a few days ago, in the Division II sectional quarterfinal, in a heartbreaker, Circleville defeating Jackson 10-9. So not good for the Iron Ladies, but they sure did have a pretty good season. And it was kind of a tumultuous season because there was a coaching issue, I believe, there for a minute, and weren't sure if we were going to have a coach or not. And of course, a couple guys stepped in and did a great job with the ladies. As far as your baseball goes for tonight, Jackson versus Athens at 5 p.m. on 105.3 FM and 1330 AM, and of course streaming online and on your Total Media Radio app, so you can listen that way anywhere you are in the world, believe it or not. So that's pretty darn cool. Of course, our good friend Pete and Dan Mara will be there to broadcast that Jackson versus Athens game. All right, so that's your baseball. Governor DeWine issued a statement yesterday, and our healthcare folks probably know about that. But that is, the FDA has done an emergency use authorization to include youth ages 12 to 15 for the Pfizer vaccine. So the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine will be available and has been approved by the FDA for those 12 to 15. The governor says, I am encouraged that the FDA has already updated Pfizer's emergency use authorization to include youth ages 12 to 15. Following a recommendation as soon as Wednesday from the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, that would be the ACIP for short, and the CDC, Ohio will immediately expand vaccine eligibility to youth ages 12 to 15 and provide appropriate guidance for parents, guardians, and vaccine providers across the state. Vaccinations are our way, of course, to get back to a normal life. So it looks like as soon as tomorrow, our kids ages 12 to 15 will be opened up for that, at least the Pfizer vaccine. And speaking of COVID-19, kind of a mixed bag of news surrounding that. In Jackson County, the Jackson County Health Department continued to report a low number of new confirmed cases, which is great news, and as you can see there on the graphic. But more virus-related deaths are occurring. As you can see, that number has popped up just a little bit, and that's kind of sad. I'm trying to read this here, sorry, Monday, May 3rd through Sunday, May 9th, the health department recorded a total of 11 new cases for an average of only 1.6 new cases per day, which is a good number and going in the right direction. The active cases in the county fell from 7 to 5 during the past week, and the current hospitalizations fell from 7 to 2. However, get this, there were 3 new virus-related deaths in the same period. That means our deaths here in Jackson County at 66. So that is not good news, despite the sort of good news as far as the cases go. Overall in Jackson County, there's been 2,929 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 197 probable cases, and 192 hospitalizations. In Benton County, the number of new cases increased in the most recent report issued Monday by the Benton County Health Department. 4 new cases were reported in Benton County in the one-day period from Sunday to Monday. The number of active cases also increased from 10 to 12 in that one-day period. And thank you, James, for putting that graphic up there. It makes it a little easier to understand, I think. The number of related hospitalizations went from 0 to 1. However, in Benton County, good news, no virus-related deaths or new ones anyway. Overall, there have been a total of 746 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Benton County, 92 probable cases, and 19 related deaths. So, overall, I guess good news. Just in Jackson County, those 3 virus-related deaths are a lot to take in, and you certainly hate to hear that. All right, so thank you to our good friend Nia Henry for sponsoring some morning news, and we ask that if you have any real estate questions or needs, give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she will be out working hard for you, as she is many other folks along the way. All right, as I said, we do have our good friends from Holzer here, and we have maybe a new guest. You haven't been here before, have you?
I have not.
No. Okay, our good friend. And she is a family medicine primary care resident, right?
Correct.
Okay, I've got it. All right, and Karen Wong, and welcome to the program. We're so happy to have you here today with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of people like to live in blissful ignorance over. And what I mean by that is that pesky spot on your arm or your head or your face that you think, oh, it doesn't look right, but if I just ignore it, it's going to go away. And that isn't necessarily the case. So first off, welcome to the program. We're so happy to have you here. And tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So thank you for introducing me. As you mentioned, I am a resident physician in family medicine and working at Holzer, which I've been really excited to and really thankful to be working here. So I'm originally from California.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm excited to be here in Ohio and just working with all the wonderful people in Jackson, as well as Gallipolis.
Well, very good. And tell us a little bit about how on earth does one end up from California to Jackson, Ohio on our little morning program? Tell us a little bit about your schooling and where you're at with that.
So I went to medical school at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio.
That explains it.
Yeah, and then through the match process, I wanted to stay in Southern Ohio. So that's how I ended up here at Holzer.
Well, very good. And just as a human interest thing, tell us a little bit about the differences, obviously, from California to here. What on earth would make you want to stay in Ohio if you came from California?
Well, there's less fires.
Yes, that's true.
There's definitely a lot less traffic, and I don't know, I like being in this area. It's really great people here.
You know, probably a little slower pace, I would guess.
Oh, it's wonderful here.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend the other day, and then we'll get to why you're here. But I was talking to a friend, and she has relatives that live out in California, and she said, "Oh, I love going and visiting, but boy, am I happy to get back because I can actually get in my car and drive somewhere."
Right, right. You're not spending hours just sitting in your car.
As a parking lot.
Right.
Well, very good. So you are actually a resident. So tell us a little bit about what that means and where you're at in your schooling process.
So I will be entering third year residency, and in family medicine, it's a 3-year program. So we spend a lot of time. We have our own continuity clinics, and mine happens to be in Jackson. So I have clinic twice a week. And we also work at the hospital. We do several different rotations. We do work under kind of a senior doctor who kind of mentors us while we're in this training process. But we have completed medical school, so we are able to see patients on our own as well.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so you're done with school, just doing kind of, I don't know, I guess an internship, if you will, for lack of better words, but more inclusive than that. Well, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you. All right. So within Holzer, you have been doing what thus far?
Within Holzer, so as I mentioned, I've been seeing a lot of patients, wonderful patients. I love them. And we've been doing OBGYN, we've been delivering babies, we've done a lot of different rotations, whether that be dermatology, addiction medicine, so very broad spectrum, just as you would imagine family medicine would be.
You know, and it always blows my mind that someone can be a family medicine doctor and not just a specialist of something, because being a specialist of something is hard enough. I mean, in family medicine, you have to know everything about everything. How on earth do you know all of that stuff?
Oh, it's definitely difficult. It's a daunting task, but you have to know pretty much a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
but also when to know your limitations and when to refer to the specialists.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And while you're here, so family medicine doctors, I feel like everyone should have that person, that contact that's their family medicine doctor. Is that true?
Oh, definitely. I like to say I'm your home base.
Yeah, or the concierge of the doctor
Right.
world, right?
Right. So even if I do send you out to a specialist, I want to make sure I can follow up. I'm pretty much there for you. I'll be pretty much, yeah, your home. Wherever you go, I want to see you back. Make sure we're getting all the proper care that, is needed.
Absolutely. And so as far as patients, are you accepting patients as a practice, or how does that work?
Yes, we definitely welcome new patients, and we're happy to have you.
Very good. Well, we'll get to how you become a patient of Dr. Wong here in just a moment. But you do have a free cancer screening coming up this weekend. And as I said before, listen, everybody, there is the beautiful graphic there, and it is such a good event that you all are having. But we've all had that spot somewhere on our body that you're like, oh, I don't know about that. Is this the perfect opportunity or what for people to come get checked out?
Yes, definitely. If you have any suspicious lesion, any mole that you've noticed that is new or has changed in appearance, this is the perfect time to come get checked out. Bring all your questions that you have about your skin.
And it can be anything. What are some of the signs that someone should get their skin checked? And I'm just going to tell you, my husband has this thing on his neck, and he drives me crazy with it. And I keep telling him he needs to go get it checked because it does not go away. and it's just, I don't know, it's just not right. So what are some of the things that people should be looking for that that would be a reason for them to come see you this weekend?
So, as I mentioned, if they've noticed any changing moles, if the moles has changed in appearance, whether it's size or texture, any new moles, if they spent a lot of time out in the sun without any sunblock or sun tanning beds, these are all reasons that you should come in and be evaluated.
You know, and maybe a little bit different reasons. California, a lot of people may be spending time at the beach or whatever, but around here we have a lot of farmers, and we have a lot of proud farmers that maybe grew up and didn't want to put that sunscreen on or that hat on, or and to be honest, and I'm aging myself here, our dum-dums as we were growing up, you're laying out with baby oil and all kind of stupid stuff. Okay, y'all did it too. I'm not the only one, because we didn't know any different at the time. So, around here, you have a lot of, even though we don't have so much sun and heat around here, you still have a lot of skin issues because of those reasons. So everybody needs to get checked out, right?
Correct. You're very correct.
All right. So, are there family... Are there genetic dispositions to skin cancers? Like, is that run in the family?
It can, definitely. And if you've had a history of skin cancer, that's also another reason you should come in and be evaluated.
Okay, all right. So let's tell everybody a little bit about the free clinic this weekend, the who, what, when, where, and all of that.
So it's this Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to noon, and we do prefer that you bring or make appointments, but it's not absolutely necessary.
Okay, and you can call 740-395. Is that 8642?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, 8642. My eyes are not what they once were because I'm old. 740-395-8642 to make that free appointment, and that will ring into Jackson Family Practice. Now, this is at the Pattonsville Road location. That is what we all old timers refer to as the clinic up on the hill.
Yes.
So I know it's not called that anymore, but that's what we all know it as, right? Okay. All right. So that's 9 to noon. And we certainly hope that you can make an appointment and get in there. So what will people expect when they show up? What do they need to do?
So just bring yourself, bring comfortable clothing that you feel is easy to get in and out of.
Okay.
We will have you change into hospital gowns so that we can do a thorough examination from head to toe.
All right. And if by chance somebody does have something that you all see that you think is questionable, then what would happen?
So we'll make an appointment for you before you leave so that we can definitely have that biopsied at some point.
Okay. And I assume that there would be certain things too that you could just say, oh, well, maybe this is how you could treat this. Let's try this first before we move on to that. So is there anything besides like a mole that somebody should look for that might be questionable, that they might not be thinking about?
So anytime there's a lesion that's not healing, or if there's a change in texture in the area of the skin, whether it's a little bit drier or itchy, those are also other signs that you should look for.
Okay, like the thing on my husband's neck that he won't go get checked out. I should put him in the car and just drive him. Like, we're going on a trip, honey. I have this very nice young lady that you need to meet. So will you be at the clinic on Saturday?
Yes, I will be.
Okay, and who else? Will there be other physicians there as well? Or?
Yes, we'll have actually a lot of the other resident physicians, and then we'll also have some of our senior doctors as well there.
Okay, that sounds good. And what are some some of the things? Okay, so we're doing this clinic for people that may already have an issue, but let's talk for a minute, if you might, and give our viewers some free advice on how to be proactive and not reactive when it comes to your skin health. So, what are some things that people can do, even if you're proud and don't want to put that sunscreen on? Like, what are things that people can do to prevent actually having to come see you? Not that we don't love you, but we certainly would love for people to not have to come see you.
Yes, so as you've mentioned, sunblock is definitely one of your first line protections. Putting on sunscreen that's at least an SPF of 30, something that's broad spectrum. And when I say broad spectrum, it should say that it covers UVA and UVB. And to reapply it every 2 hours. And another great advice is to make sure you're wearing as much clothing and covering as you can when you're out in the sun. So wearing hats, sunglasses, long sleeves, long pants, those are all great advice as well. And just try to minimize sun exposure between the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, well, that's good advice. Now, there obviously is, we all need sunshine in our lives, right? So where is that happy medium between, getting out and getting your vitamin D from the sun's rays and the good stuff that comes from the sun and being in it too much?
So definitely, it's great to be outside in the sun. It's great for your mental health. Vitamin D is important. But, if you put on the sunscreen, that's going to be a lot helpful for you. You don't need too much time out in the sun in order to get that vitamin D. So,
yeah, I think someone had told me at one point, like 15 or 20 minutes or something, you can get the vitamins that you need. So okay, here's a good one. Where are places that you need to remind people that they need to apply sunblock that they don't normally do it?
So actually your eyelids, that's one of the places that you can have skin cancer found. And then around your ears is another place, as well as the back of your neck.
And I feel like there's just a lot of guys, especially, that walk around because, we women mostly have our necks covered with our hair, but, guys, they're just out there exposed. And except for our James over there that has these lovely flowing locks of hair. But no, I feel like, men especially do have that exposure to their ears and their neck that maybe women wouldn't have. So that's another good tip. Yeah. It goes back to those farmers. You need to cover those ears and your heads and all of that stuff too. So, all right. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers while you're here?
So I highly encourage you guys to come out this Saturday morning. We'll have lots of great goodies and giveaways and snacks for you guys as well.
Oh, well, she had me at goodies and giveaways and snacks. Okay. So what are some of I know I heard you talking about some of the prizes. Did you?
There's 2 swag bags, as we call them.
Swag bags?
Yes.
That sounds fun.
100 sunscreen, some ice packs, a nice umbrella in each. They retract.
Ooh, so they got like 2 big goodie baskets
And then
for people.
There's a first aid kit.
Oh, Marla's gonna get in here.
First aid kit and some sunscreen in some of the goodie bags that everybody will receive.
Okay, all right. And so everybody gets those that comes in, or are those door prizes? Oh, everybody gets those.
Everyone will get a bag with some educational information about how to protect yourself, and then they will also get a sunscreen and a first aid kit.
Well, heck yeah.
And then register, and we will do the big door prize of her swag bag.
Her swag bag, and that would be Marla's swag bag. We should have like a slide about
Trademark
that. Yeah, we will trademark that. No, we do just ask that you come out and please participate in this. It's free. How often do you say, I get free medical, attention. Don't even have to make an appointment. It's suggested, but you don't have to. That's pretty cool stuff. Well, Dr. Wong, thank you so much for coming and spending time with us today. You are awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Is there anything else you wanted our viewers to know?
It's been exciting being here, so thank you again.
Well, thank you, and best of luck. Do you think you'll stay around in our area?
Oh, we'll see. We're in conversation.
Oh! Well, I vote to keep her. Yeah, they all vote to keep. We vote to keep you. We would love to keep you here.
Thank you.
All right, and before you get out of here, I did want to ask you, I always ask everyone, what is your favorite thing about working at Holzer?
Oh, I mentioned it so many times, but the people.
Absolutely, and the one thing in owning the restaurant and whatever and talking to a ton of people is everyone here, I hear this from travelers so much, everyone here is so nice.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
It's how do I even describe it? It's so different from home too.
I would say so. You don't meet a stranger out on Main Street, it's just different. So people are very friendly. So welcome to our community.
Well, thank you.
All right, and make sure that you head on up to Holzer from 9 to noon this coming Saturday. And you can call that number, 740-395-8642 for Jackson Family Practice, and that will get you that appointment for the free cancer screening. So we hope you spend some time. And there is our good friend, Karen Wong there, and you can schedule an appointment with her as well because she's accepting new patients. So, all right. Thank you, girls. And best of luck this weekend. All right.
We're excited. It's a good event.
It is a good event. It's an amazing event. And again, I feel like there's just so many people that put off that screening because they don't want to know the truth, or they don't even know who to call or whatever. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to get up there and figure out where, if you need help, and they'll get you pointed in the right direction for sure.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks,
Thank you guys so
ladies.
I think I'm in good shape because I'm not going out in that sun. I'm rocking those long sleeves all summer long. So I think I'm all right.
So we were kidding the other day. I was talking to some of the servers at the restaurant, and I said, yeah, I went into the makeup store the other day, and I asked them if they had foundation. They asked what color, and I said transparent. That's what color my skin is. The palest of the pale of the pale. Like that paper is darker than I. Anyway, so, all right. So John Boy in the house.
I'm here. I didn't know I was here, but I was here. Sorry, I didn't mean to scratch my face. And
Oh, well, you're allowed. I mean, this is a low-budget operation
I
now,
know.
We can do whatever we want. So what is going on today, John Boy?
Well, get out your silverware.
Silverware?
Yes, today is National All-You-Can-Eat Day. Eat All-You-Can-Eat Day.
That's
Don't-
good news for the Rotary Club.
That's right.
It is good news for the
Yeah.
Rotary Club, but I thought we participated in that every day.
I was going to say, we call it Tuesday, but
Yeah, right.
Eat All-You-Can-Eat Day. Hey.
Hey, speaking of, that is a good point. Don't forget that Rotary bean and chili dinner today.
That's true.
Yeah, and let's give them a plug while we're at it. Today, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Farmer Sportsman booth. They will not be having the Farmer Sportsman fish, but this is the Rotary Club, so they're doing that chili and the beans. They have cornbread, hot dogs, soup, beans or chili, pop, water, all of that. And as Kim said yesterday, you are supporting our seniors, both our senior citizens and our seniors in high school, where they give the scholarships and then help our senior friends
Right.
along the way as well. And the Rotary Club does a lot of great work, so please support them.
And since it's Eat All-You-Can-Eat Day, when they ask you, do you want hot dogs, chili, beans, you can say yes.
Yes.
All of the above.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. And if you have a big enough order, Kim said they would even bring it to you. If you have an
really?
office or something
Okay.
like that, and everyone wants lunch, they'll bring it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we could do
I
that.
mean, twist my arm,
Yeah.
beans and cornbread. Okay.
Oh, and it's also National Hostess Cupcake Day. Today,
Ooh.
the Hostess Cupcake is 102 years old.
Really?
Yeah, started in 1919.
The good news is, if you had an original
Yeah, it's
Hostess
still good.
cupcake, you can
Hasn't
still
gone
eat
bad
it. It's still
It's still
preserved.
good. I'm not sure about the cupcake, but the Twinkie would still be good.
That's right. Okay, question. We've
Yes.
talked about this here on the morning show. We've talked about, the rabbits at Easter time. Like, do you eat the ears first or
Sure.
the feet first or whatever? When you eat your Hostess cupcake, do you dissect it? Because it's got that cream filling,
Sure.
right? So how do you go about eating your Hostess cupcake?
One large bite at a time.
I have this issue with dissecting things. So it's like I would take it apart and
Okay.
probably eat like the cream filling out of it first and then eat like the top around it and then I don't know.
I think that little swirl on the top of the cupcake is cursive for cupcake, I believe.
I believe it is.
It is.
James, how would you eat your Hostess cupcake?
I think I'm with John. Just like 3 or 4 big bites.
Just shove it in?
Have at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a little curious how you're dissecting the cream out of it. Are you
Well,
just
you
like sticking your tongue in it and like
Ew.
scraping it out?
Well, no, because you break it in half and it typically just kind of like.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there were some tools involved, like a scalpel. and
There
a-
might be.
What about one of those little like suction cup things?
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you like to know?
You brought it up.
All right, get me out of this one, John.
Well, I can go one better than that.
Ooh.
I
okay.
remember my father telling the story that he stopped buying me as a kid foot-long hot dogs because I wouldn't eat the bun. I just ate the hot dog, and he said that I would be eating the hot dog, and the bun would go right up between my ears on each side of my head.
Nuh-uh.
So there you go. It's not so bad to jump inside a Hostess cupcake,
There
right?
you go. I don't feel nearly as badly as I did. That's funny.
And today is National Twilight Zone Day. As you know, the series started back, what was it, 1959?
A long time ago.
I know. Rod Sterling, who, by the way, a lot of people didn't know, wrote about 2/3 of that because he was into writing and had several things that he presented to television that didn't work. But
I feel like people could pull up, other than like the cinematography of it, I feel like you could pull up episodes of The Twilight Zone and it would just equally freak people out today as it did back then. I can remember being a little girl and watching some of those episodes and just being devastated. Just terrified.
and watching him now, you see all the people who played bit parts that are now famous actors and actresses. So cool.
Kind of like the Love Boat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Love Boat, maybe James can get a picture of this, but there were 2 students in their 20s who made a raft out of Home Depot buckets and kiddie pools and they duct taped those to a piece of plywood and decided to go out sailing, and the current took them out and they couldn't get back. So they had to send boats out to rescue them.
Where was this?
Santa Barbara, California.
Here we go with California again.
Yeah, California
No wonder our
again.
good doctor moved away.
Yeah.
That is too much.
It's kind of neat to see that thing. It's a whole bunch of buckets taped together in kiddie pools. And
It's kind of like Tom Hanks on Castaway.
that's right.
minus the volleyball.
Anyway, the authorities went out and got him, and they said alcohol and common sense were not involved in this incident. So there you go.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, I'll tell you what, if they put plywood on it, they could have bought a new boat for what they probably paid for that sheet of plywood, as much as stuff costs
That's
right
true.
now.
That's a
My
true story.
goodness. It's insane. Is it not working, James?
No, the photo's not going to come up, unfortunately.
Oh,
That's okay.
darn it.
That's all right.
I'm not sure if this is the same one or not. Actually, by Googling that, I think building a raft out of buckets is like kind of a thing.
Oh.
So this is, it looks
Hey,
like
there's something else, and this is all over the internet. You might Google. It's this Tesla driver who is spotted in the back seat of the car. You know, not in the driver's seat, but in the back seat of the car, with putting signs on the windows, begging people to try to find him and arrest him. Did you see that
No.
on the internet? Oh yeah. Of course, he appears. Of course, it's on autopilot, his Tesla car.
Yeah.
And people are taking pictures in their cell phones as he's driving by, sitting in the back seat.
Which you're not supposed to be doing.
Oh no, Tesla said, of course, that's in the manual. Don't do that.
Which I don't understand that, because I have a friend that has a Tesla, and I thought that he told me that you have to have like a hand or something on the steering wheel.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
We don't have those here.
I have a good friend who has a Tesla. I'll ask him.
Yeah. Ask him if you have to. Or maybe it is that he said you have to touch it every so often.
Yeah. They say it's, of course, it's dangerous, and it's also illegal. And there has been one fatality with someone pulling a stunt like that. Now, I have seen, not this time, but the last time we went south over the West Virginia Turnpike, I did see someone passing me in a Tesla fast asleep.
Really?
Serious.
In the driver's seat?
Yeah, in the driver's seat with his head down, and maybe he was texting. I don't know, but it looked like he was
either way,
he was asleep. But he passed me like a dart on the. Oh well.
Well, I think that it should be programmed into Teslas that if you hit the West Virginia Turnpike, if you don't go 95 miles an hour on the West Virginia Turnpike, you're going to get a semi truck up your rear end.
That's true.
That car probably knows that. You just have to keep up with the flow of traffic. Oh my gosh. Hey, have you ever, I've never heard of this before.
Okay.
Have you ever found a dryer sheet in your mailbox?
A what?
A dryer sheet in your mailbox.
A dryer sheet?
Evidently, it's a thing.
One of those anti-cling dryer sheet things?
Yeah, like the thing you throw in your dryer when you put your laundry in there.
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. Have you, James?
no. Is this a prank, or is this like?
No, it's a thing. So people started reporting that they were getting dryer sheets in their mailboxes, and it was like a mystery, and no one could figure out why.
Okay.
And come to find out that they say that postal workers put them in there to keep wasps and stuff away.
Oh, okay.
So, like, this person posted on the internet, is like, I keep having this dryer sheet put in my mailbox. Like, does anyone know? So a postal worker got on there and was like, yeah, we put them in there so that the wasps and yellow jackets and things. Like, so this postal worker wrote, I can't tell you how many times, especially during this part of the year, when I've opened up a box to see a little nest with 3 or 5 yellow jackets just chilling. If I'm really unlucky, they will have made their nest at the very back of the box, so I wind up sticking my hand in, not knowing that they're there. We all know how temperamental these little insects are, and, well, I won't go on to say he uses some swear words about what happens when he sticks his hand in there. But, so yeah, they say that the dryer sheets may help with certain insects.
Well, we should be proactive and do it anyway to help them out.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I wonder if it actually works or if that's just a wives' tale.
Don't know.
So, hey, by the way, I was talking with our resident bee expert, who will be a guest here on the program. Our new bee.
He will be.
He will be here with all the buzz about bees.
Okay.
I'll quit now.
People
All right.
are
Yes.
just already buzzing about it.
Yes, they are.
You're talking about the county bee inspector?
Corey Ruby, yes.
Okay.
So Corey, I talked to him at over the weekend, and he is very excited to be on our program and talk about bees and honey and all of that stuff. But he was telling me that he has family members, and I didn't know this was a thing, but we'll ask him when he comes. He said his dad and some other family members actually will remove yellow jacket nests. And you want to know why? I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay, because they kill bees. Is that what you're saying?
Because they'll come. No. I mean, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
No, because they take the yellow jackets and they send them off, and they make anti-venom out of them for
Oh.
folks that go into anaphylactic
Oh, okay.
shock.
I thought
And-
you were going to say they put them in people's mailboxes.
They put them in people's mailboxes. And if you don't have a dryer sheet in there, you deserve what you get.
That's right.
But no, isn't that, I never had heard such a thing. So that actually exists. So we'll ask him about that when he
Okay.
comes in. But I told Corey he does teach and is very active in his school. So I told him we would wait till school is out and he can come
That's
and
cool.
we can talk bees.
All right.
Yeah.
If you have not had your vaccine yet,
I have had my vaccine.
okay. For those who have not, here's some good news. There are some people who are holding out for a vaccine and waiting to get paid.
Oh.
They took
so
a
they
survey.
think,
Yeah, they took a survey and said that a lot of people feel that if they wait long enough, the government will pay them to get their vaccine. And I guess the amount that would be push them off of zero to overcome inertia would be $100.
I wondered what the number was.
That's what Jim Justice wants to do.
Is it?
Give everybody $100
Yeah.
or $100
He said a savings
savings
bond.
bond. Yeah. But he said if that was too complicated, he'd just give them cash.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like as much money as the government throws around, why not?
That's what a lot of people are anticipating at some point to push us over, into the 60 70 percentile mark, that the government will start paying you to have your vaccine.
It's all relative. It's like, I mean, for some people, $100 would be like, oh, heck yeah. Then other people are like, oh, $100.
Yeah,
Weird.
I can see people posting their pictures on eBay, see how much they can get for a vaccine.
I can see people going through the line as just going through the
Right, like,
line
I'm
and
just
getting
gonna
back in the end and just going
I
through it
know. Like,
again.
how many COVID vaccines can your body take before you keel over?
Let's
Like,
find out.
you're not looking too good, sir. What have you done?
I mean, we used to do that in college. We'd give blood and
Plasma.
see how much we could take, so we could eat for a couple of days. Oh well.
Oh my gosh, that's such a thing. I can remember my parents sitting me down when I was in college because I was telling them about my friends doing that, and they were like, if you need money, please let me know. Like,
Right.
we want you to keep your blood.
Really.
Like, okay, thanks.
I want to say happy birthday to the Iranian Navy.
Okay.
It's an anniversary, actually. 1 year ago today, during war games, the country of Iran admitted that they actually sank one of their own battleships. Their
Oopsie.
military frigate mistakenly fired an anti-ship cruise missile and sank another of their battleships. And if you've seen the pictures, they really don't look like battleships. I mean, they look like Bay Harbor duck boats. I mean, I'm not sure you classify that as a battleship. You could probably sink it with a BB
I
gun.
was gonna say.
I mean, if you're having a
Slingshot.
war game and you beat yourself, that's not a good indicator.
That sounds like that unit out of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania that Dad had dealt with, the gun unit out of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania
yeah.
that shot into the wrong place. Anyway,
Okay.
They were just trying to get that groundhog.
yeah, right. Their artillery unit.
That's true.
It was it Bill Murray from Caddyshack?
It was kind of, that's what it made me think of. Oh no, My goodness. Sorry. Get me out of this one, John.
So talking about going through the line multiple times to get your COVID,
I wonder what that would do to you.
I don't know, nothing good probably. I mean, you might not get COVID, but
I mean, your liver's for sure going to
Yeah.
fall out, but
but that reminds me of the time when Jimmy John's had $1 sub day, and I got the bright idea to get a sub for everybody at work, and got there and found out that they would only give you 1 sub at a time. So we went through the line about 20 times.
and they hated you.
Not as much as I hated them. But we got subs for everybody. It took about 2 hours, but we did it.
That's awesome.
I saw this posting where the guy who was, of course, taking his temperature every day before he goes to work, during the COVID vaccine.
Sure.
His wife went out and bought one of those new touchless thermometers. You just wave across your forehead and it gives the
Yes.
thermometer. And he said it was a great relief. He didn't have to use his rectal thermometer anymore each day. I mean, there are some people that haven't quite caught on yet.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Just saying.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, I was really sad to see something because if you grew up as a child in the 80s, there is an iconic video that everybody knows. And there is an iconic lady that's in this video that will go down in infamy for the rest of time. And that is the White Snake, Here I Go Again video. Do you know the girl's name that crawled around on the hood of that car? Her name is Tawny Katane. And Tawny Katane passed away over the weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, at age 59. That video, can you find clip of it or something or a picture? I mean, that White Snake video will go down in infamy as everybody of my generation knew who Tawny Katane was. If you were a girl, you wanted to be her. And if you were a guy, you wanted to watch the video.
Okay.
And she is a lovely, lovely lady. She starred in many, many 80s rocker videos.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a vixen, to say the least. There she is. There she is in the video. She was in some rat videos. She was, she crawled around on the hood of that car like no one else's business. And they don't know. They have not released the story of her death or why she passed away. But as I said, every guy wanted to. And there's a scene where she's crawling around on the hood of that car, and yeah. So anyway, Tawny Katane passed away over the weekend. They are doing her autopsy, and very, very sad to hear it. Her family said she liked to live her life fast. She got bored very easily, as you can see.
Okay.
And so she did have quite a story, and she was writing a book at the time of her death about her life. So that would have been interesting. Maybe it will be released.
Speaking of rock and roll, they have released what they call the top artists for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, these are the fan choices. So let's see.
So they'll be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, this is just the tally of the fans. You know, they have people's choices.
Okay.
You can vote, but then they won't release the names of those who are going to be inducted until later in May.
Gotcha.
So here we go. This is the fan vote. Leading the pack was Tina Turner.
Okay.
One guy I don't know, Afrobeat pioneer Fela Kuti. The Go-Go's.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
And the Foo Fighters were number 5. So those are the top 5 choices by the fans. And the inductees will be announced then later this month.
So, okay, some of them I understand, but how is someone like Tina Turner not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already?
I mean, there are lots of artists you can look at who are not there or were slow getting there that you sort of think,
You're like, what?
who did they make mad, you know?
Right. Like, what kind of political BS is this?
And some of that, I mean, there's theories that some of that happens, so.
Sure. I was watching something about Tina Turner the other day, actually, on television, and man, she is just so just awesome, full of life, and just talented and beautiful.
Very much so.
And kind of like Cher, they're just timeless. Like, they just never age, and they wear those little skimpy outfits around the stage, and you're like, you go, girl. And they still look the same. How do you do that? So,
of course, I haven't found that out, but
yeah,
I know.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Maybe her people, we could have our people call her people and find out.
Okay, we'll do that.
Where's that magic, Fountain of Youth thing you guys got going on here?
As soon as I find out who my people are, I'll work that out.
Oh, shoot. We need to find people first, don't we?
That's right.
Yeah, we don't have people. James, can we find people?
Courtney is your people.
Is Courtney people?
Yeah.
If anybody can do it, Courtney can do it.
I think Courtney could pull it off for sure. She seems like she could.
I do have a little tip here for diners who like to imbibe in a little bit of wine with their dinner.
Okay.
There's a new study out that shows that without breaking the bank, people sometimes can't choose the number one bottle of wine on the menu because it's so expensive.
Right.
And they usually drop down to number 2, but according to this survey, the most bang for your buck is usually number 3 on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just going to say, drop all the way down to the bottom and order it by the glass, and nobody will know.
I think just ask them which one came in a box.
Which one has the twist off lid?
Yeah, that's right.
No, I say go to the bottom of the barrel and order 2.
Okay, there you go.
2, just whatever your cheapest is, bring me 2 bottles. We don't care. Once you get about halfway through the bottle, you won't know what it tastes like anyway. So.
Okay.
Hey, did you know Mattel is taking back old Barbie dolls and Matchbox cars?
Yeah, I heard that today.
That's interesting, isn't it? They're launching a program that will let families give back their old toys that will be used toward a recycling effort. It's called Mattel Playback, and it will let families extend the life of their unused toys after kids are finished playing with them, because they can reuse the materials from old products to make new ones. So I don't know how I feel about that. Are you going to take little Susie's Barbie doll and send it back and tell Barbie's going to get melted down so you can get a new one?
Maybe if it looked like the Barbie doll from the first Toy Story movie, that had like a fishing pole for a body and Barbie legs.
As they said they want you to give them back. They're not going to buy them back.
Oh, of course not.
And of course, one of the things that people have been finding is if you keep a toy in really good shape, especially if you keep the box with the toy, it becomes very valuable after a few decades.
That's right.
So you might be, if you send your kids' toys back, instead of stashing them delicately in the attic, that could be some money for your kids later on.
You are correct.
Yeah.
It's like if you think about, remember the old Cabbage Patch Kid craze and some of those things, if you had actually, survived getting knocked in the head while fighting for one of those first Cabbage Patch Kids, you probably, and had it in the box, I'd say it would be worth some scratch.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like G.I. Joes and different things like that are, if you have them in the original packaging, Star Wars stuff. But it's the old catch-22. You're going to give a kid a toy and then tell them they can't play with it? That's mean.
Yeah, because most toys are pretty well done for by the time the kids get through with them. So.
Yeah.
All right, Jen. Now this is a buy it now. This isn't an auction.
Okay.
So here's an original 1983 Cabbage Patch Kid named Hetty Netty.
Mine was named Hetty also.
Okay, you want to take a guess on what they're trying to get for it on eBay?
Hetty Netty.
1983.
1983 on eBay, $2,000.
No, that's a little high. This one, they're asking for $600 for this one.
$600.
And here's
I wonder what I don't remember what they cost. How much they were back then.
less than $600.
I say way less than $600.
Then here's another one. They're trying to get $1,000 for this one. It's a 1978 to 82 red hair, blue eyes. It doesn't really look like a Cabbage Patch Kid. I think that might be something that predated Cabbage Patch.
Yeah, because I think Cabbage Patch were like mid 80s.
So here's one. They're asking for $1,500 for this one. It's an Ian Roscoe boy, Xavier Roberts. I don't know.
Yeah, Xavier Roberts is who made Cabbage Patch Kids.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's autographed by him. That's why they want so much for that.
Ooh,
okay.
Autographed.
Ooh. Yeah, they all had like Xavier Roberts like on the back of their head, and that's how you knew if they were fake or not.
Okay.
Yeah. How do I know that?
How do you know that?
Yeah. How many people did your parents have to fight for a Cabbage Patch Kid when you were 10 years old?
Oh, I can tell you the story. We need to get Big Lou up here to tell the story about my Cabbage Patch Kid.
Story? Oh, boy.
Yeah. My Cabbage Patch story was that, Dad did some back room deal thing for my Cabbage Patch Kid that he bought from some lawyer that had gotten his hands on several of them in Columbus or something, and he found out about it and went and paid ridiculous amounts of money so that I would stop whining about having a Cabbage Patch Kid.
And of course, you still have that doll to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to trade it into Mattel?
No. But it's funny that you said that because mine was named Serena Hetty.
Yeah.
And you said that one was Hetty Netty.
Hetty Netty.
Hetty Netty. Serena. Yeah.
Why don't you bring it in?
She had a side ponytail.
Why don't you bring it in and see how much money we can get for it?
Ooh, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this was really cool. My cousin and I, later on when they became a little bit more available and my dad didn't have to go and, fight someone in a back alley with a knife for it, which I think may have happened. I'm not sure. But anyway, my cousin and I got twins. So she got one and I got one. And they looked just alike. It was cool. So we had like matching. So yeah, that was neat. All right. Just reminiscing a little bit.
I'm going to say so. I'm so happy to know all this.
I'll tell you what, if I go to my mommy's house and I think about it, I'm going to grab my Cabbage Patch Kid and you can see my very first Cabbage Patch Kid.
That would be
nice. I have to bring her in.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had a blonde side ponytail.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of cool. All right. You know what we didn't do, James? Because we got all out of whack today. We didn't do the weather.
Yeah.
So let's go to your zip printing weather forecast before we get out of here for the day, where you can get those graduation yard signs, banners, shirts, napkins, and more by visiting your totalmedia.shop for more information. And the weather forecast is look at all that sunshine. And so some partly cloudy skies throughout the week, some sunshine mixed in. We're happy about that. Highs of 62 today, lows of 35. They are calling for a frost warning overnight tonight, early into tomorrow morning. Then looking at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as you can see, a little bit warmer every day through the weekend. So we will take it. And by Monday, looks like 76 degrees. A little bit of chance of rain, but that's okay. We love it. All right, let's see. Did want to thank our friends that make this show possible, like the filling station, the store at Broadway and Penn and Wellston, and Quick Stop. Of course, our good friends at Callahan Hardware, your everything store.
You got it.
Yep, where you can get pretty much anything you need for your seasonal needs, and the bug killer, and I'll bet you they even have some dryer sheets out there to put in your mailbox.
Okay.
And they have the mailbox. Also want to thank our friends at the shop, Chip and Kathy Smalley and all the gang there. They're wonderful people. If you need any custom engraving, jewelry repair, watch repair, clock repair, any of that, give Chip and Kathy a call, 988-2841. And again, they are wonderful, wonderful people. And big shout out to Carman the Carman. weather's going to be very nice. No reason why you can't check out the lot. Go out, corner Stand Pipe Road and State Route 93 South, and they'll show you around their beautiful lot. Over 70 vehicles on the lot all the time for you to choose from. All right, Big John. Anything else?
No. Thanks for the invite.
Well, thank you for visiting with us. We love it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Don't forget, Jackson Rotary Chili and Bean Dinner today from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Farmer Sportsman on Veterans Drive here in Jackson. That's right there at the Eddie Jones Park, where they have the soup, beans, or chili, hot dogs, cornbread, pop and water, all for the great cause, and all the proceeds go to the Rotary, where they help out with scholarships and also help out our senior friends. So please make sure that you stop by and see them today. All right, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back here tomorrow with our friends from the Humane Society. So until then, have a great day.